welcome back to my channel. I thought I would come on here whilst I get ready. I've got all my makeup here. You'll see in either the vlog that I just posted or the one that I'm going to post. I don't know which one it's going to be, but yeah, I'm getting ready and I thought I would do my makeup and then at the same time make a video that someone actually asked me to make in the comments. Can you make a video about moving to a new country and navigating my way through it? At the same time, I'm going to do my makeup to get ready to go out. Still going on. I use these two on my face. I got this cream that's new. I don't know how to say it, Embrossly. And then I use my Refi Roly primer, Face and Prime Glow and Sculpt. So I've done that. Now I'm going to go in with the rest of my makeup. I've got a little list that I made of things that I thought would be cute to cover. And the first thing I've got is, why did I decide to move to a new country? Firstly, I kind of guess I could say I have moved here because I've been here on and off since November. I've been traveling at least since November, but I've been in India. So if you guys know me, you will know that I moved to India for a bit. I've been here since December. It's now the end of May. So it's been a little while that I've actually been here. And the reason that I say I've moved to India is because I'm really not sure what my plans are. I don't know kind of where I want to be or if I want to stay here or anything like that. So I just refer to it as a move. However, I'm not sure if that is like the case for a lot of people. They might think, oh, you're only there for a few months, like it's not really a move. But I have kind of packed up my life and moved myself to the other side of the world. So to me, it's a move. What kind of made me want to do it? Everything was just becoming really repetitive at home. I just feel like when you live with people that are much older than you, like your parents' age, then you kind of adapt into their lifestyle and you start acting the way that they're acting. At least I do. So I know that like my mom, she takes it quite easy, and obviously she should because she has a lot of health issues and stuff like that, and she's had a pretty tough life. So we just kind of want her to relax and just enjoy her life and just relax, basically. Even though she finds it very tough to relax, we just want her to chill. But when you live with a parent and they are kind of taking it easy, doing what they should be doing, which is relaxing, then I just found that I started doing that too. And I was like, hang on a minute, like I'm not like much old enough to like have grown-ass kids. This is the Charlotte Tilbury contour one, by the way. It's so good, and I got it in the shade tan. Yeah, I thought we could get ready together. That's why I'm like talking through the makeup as well. But yeah, so with mom, she's just taking it easy and she's chilling, and as she should. She has definitely earned the time to just relax and enjoy her life, but I haven't. So I was like, hang on a minute, like why am I just taking it so easy and chilling all day with my mom and my cat and acting like I'm like a much older woman? So I just felt like I need to like spice things up, move things, and like probably be around people of a younger energy that are doing things similar to what I'm doing or what I want to be doing, to kind of be in that energy. So yeah, I think things just got really stagnant for me at home. And it's not even like I'm living in London in the UK or like in central London or something where there's a lot happening, or even the outskirts of London. I'm literally in the Midlands, in like a little village basically in the Midlands. So it's a bit like quiet, and then you just end up becoming quiet too, and everything isn't very fast paced and stuff, and people just have a very normal life over there. So I guess the reason that I moved is because, one, I just didn't feel like I really fit into that environment. I'm definitely more of a fast paced person, and I like living in a big city where there's a lot of things happening, like Mumbai. And then yeah, the emotions you felt before leaving home, honestly guys, worst thing in the world. Like it was horrible. I hated leaving home. I really didn't want to. I've got two options for brows. I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade dark brown, but I also have the Ultimate Arch Definer in the shade Clove, but I'm going to go for Anastasia today because she's new and I want to use all my new products. So yeah, it's horrible leaving home. I'm not going to lie to you. If anyone is doing it or is thinking about doing it, I just feel like for me personally, I struggle more with the part before actually moving. So once I'm out and I'm fine. Once I'm on the flight, once I'm at the airport, once I'm in the new location, I'm actually fine. And I really don't miss people as much as I kind of miss them before I leave, weirdly enough. Like I start missing people before I go, and I start thinking of all the bad things and like all the negative things, and I started like trying to talk myself out of it and getting really afraid, and like the build up was insane. Like I had so much anxiety. I didn't want to leave my mom, didn't want to leave my cat, didn't want to leave my home comforts, didn't want to step into the unknown, and it was just like a huge ball of anxiety. And that's how I felt before I left. So if anyone is moving and is feeling like that, it's totally, totally, totally normal. I personally was not excited at all to leave, because I'm the kind of person that once I get nested somewhere and I'm comfortable in that place, like how I am here now, I'm quite happy and I don't really necessarily want to leave. So yeah, I honestly was so nested at home and I had like all my comforts and everything, and I was genuinely quite happy to just live out the rest of my days there. And I love spending time with my mom. I love spending time with my cat Leah. She's like the love of my life, literally the love of my life. And it's really tough to have to leave them, to be honest. But with that being said, I mean, that's kind of how I felt before I left. But as soon as I get to the airport, I'm totally fine. And as soon as I actually say bye to those people, for some reason, the way I work is like, once I've actually left the people or the person or whatever, I don't necessarily miss them so much. Obviously I do miss my mom, I miss my cat, but like everyone else, I'm just like, you know, like I don't necessarily have this huge thing where I'm sitting here crying every day because I miss home. If things go wrong here in Mumbai and I have bad days, then I like hugely miss my support network and my people. But if like on a day-to-day, I'm totally fine. So there's a huge contrast for me between actually leaving and then being here. My first impressions when I arrived and the biggest culture shock that I experienced. India is so different to the UK. It could not be more different. It's very far away. They're in like proximity, but then also in culture, in a lot of things, India is very different to the UK. So India, just being here, stepping off the flight, and the heat and the noise and the chaos, everything is a culture shock here. The way people are very different here to back home, extremely. Like I could actually make a whole video on how people are so different here to people in the UK. So yeah, everything was a culture shock when you come to India, but sometimes you need that. Like I don't necessarily like traveling to countries and it just being like the same old that what I've experienced you know, before. I like to have some kind of like, wow, like wake up like, oh, I'm alive, I'm living, like this is something different. So yeah, you definitely get that when you come to India. I guess the biggest thing for me is probably the people, the language barrier, because my Hindi is not great. I speak Punjabi and obviously English. I speak both of those fluently, but I don't speak Hindi. I do understand all of it. So the language barrier was something that I really struggled with, and it was like a bit of a shock to my system because I'm so used to just having small talk. And I'm quite a chatty person. I like meeting new people and stuff like that. So that is a bit tough here. And then also the noise, like there's constant beeping and beeping and beeping. And honestly, like people are like screaming for no reason on the roads. There's a lot happening. There's a lot of chaos. There's like rickshaws, there's kids, there's fights, like just random things happening everywhere at all times. You'll get someone like with something on their head, like walking down the road selling fruit, and they'll literally be walking with the fruit on their head, and you're like, ah. And then you get obviously a lot of homeless people that are like begging when you go out. So that initially is like the shock before I get into my actual lifestyle here, which is a bit more glamorous and is a bit more like going to the private member clubs, Soho House, you know, my living space, castings, shoots and things like that. Because you don't come here and then go into that straight away unless you're going to like go to Soho House on the first day and then you're like, okay. But otherwise, initially you do kind of get the shock of like everything that's happening at one time. And it's a lot. It is a lot. So that is a huge culture shock in moving to India for sure. The difference in my daily lifestyle and my routine. Okay, so where I live is Bandra. It's a very affluent, nice area here in Mumbai. It's very fun. There's a lot of cafes and there's a lot of like shopping malls and bookstores and like fun things to do. So I would say I'm a lot more sociable here because there's so much to do. My friends are all on the next road or like 5 minutes away. You can jump in a rickshaw and then you're just at the next place, and then you can jump in another one, or you can just get a car and everything's like 10-20 minutes max away. So I would say I'm a lot more active here. That's a huge lifestyle difference, and I do a lot more here. I would also say that one of the biggest lifestyle changes is that you can actually just order anything to your apartment, because there's so many apps where people will bring things in a matter of 5 minutes. The convenience factor is huge here. You can just say, oh, I've run out of milk, and 5 minutes later you've got milk. You don't have to necessarily use so much brain power to get things that you want when you live in India. You also have a cook, and you have house help, and you have people that just do a lot of things for you that you've hired, so staff, and you can pretty much hire people to do anything here. There's so many people that are looking for work, and there's always roles to be filled. So there's a huge convenience of living on this side of the world, because yeah, you can just have a lot of things done for you, and then you have more space in your mind to actually do things that you want to do. Like, for example, now I don't necessarily have to think about groceries and cooking and cleaning and all this stuff. I can sit here with you guys and do my makeup and create a YouTube video. Whereas now maybe I would be cooking my lunch or something if I was living in the UK. But actually I don't have to think of that. I just send my cook what I want, and he'll be making it, and I can do something else for myself. So I would say that is probably the biggest difference that I've noticed between living in the UK and living in India. I ordered this huge Charlotte Tilbury setting spray by mistake. I thought it was 100 ml and it's actually 200. But I think I'll use it all by the time I leave because it's the best. Okay, then I've got learning to navigate a new city and transport systems. Okay, so I don't take the train here. I never have. I probably should, just to experience it, but I haven't so far. I take Ubers, which are super cheap. I think it's like £3-4 to go half an hour, or even an hour actually. I think an hour here in an Uber is probably like less than £5. So the transport here is so good. A rickshaw, you want to go like 10-15 minutes in a rickshaw, it's like 50p. So, or 30p or 40p. So transport, I think I just had to speak to some friends, know what to download, what works here. I went on YouTube and went on TikTok to see like what kind of ways that you can do things, like in terms of shortcuts or tips and tricks. So that was pretty easy. It's Uber, rickshaws. You can actually order a rickshaw to where you are through Uber. So Uber has a rickshaw option, and it's like 30-40p to get around, and they come right to where you are. They have a registration license plate, so you can see that's my rickshaw, and then you go in, tell them the OTP code, and then they'll just take you to where you are, so you don't have to navigate. I remember when I was here 5 years ago, that wasn't an option on Uber. So when you get in the rickshaw, you have to flag one down, firstly, and secondly, you have to direct them the whole way. So you just use a lot less brain power by having it kind of all done for you. So transport is so easy here. It's amazing. What have I got? Yeah, so making new friends and building a social life. I think for me, I was lucky because I have some friends from when I was here 5 years ago, and those friends I've stayed in touch with for the whole time that I was out of India. So I feel like I know amazing people here that are genuinely friends for life, and the fact that I didn't come here for 5 years and I've still managed to stay in touch with those people has proven that they're always going to be my friends, and I'm always going to be their friends, because it's the ones that I didn't lose contact with, or you don't have like some weird awkwardness of you've left the country. Because I think with me, a lot of people think that when I leave and I go MIA that I like don't like them anymore, and it's genuinely not the case. I'm just busy living my own life in another country. But it's been so nice to come back and be welcomed in by the most amazing friends that I had before I left. So I've definitely built my foundation in terms of friendships. Making new friends, I think just by posting on social media, being seen by other people, it kind of caught the attention of quite a lot of people because the circles are quite small here. So I would have like interactions, people reach out, and people wanting to hang out and stuff like that. I think I also go to jobs, so I've made friends on shoots, and yeah, through my work really. But yeah, making friends, I guess like people are just generally quite sociable here as well in Mumbai, so you can make friends just by going out and about as well. People will talk to you. It's not like the UK where everyone kind of keeps themselves to themselves. And then I've got feeling lonely or homesick and how you handle it. Yeah, I do get I don't get lonely because I really enjoy my own company, but sometimes you do feel like you're free falling. You know that feeling of free falling when you're like, I don't feel grounded, like, where am I? Like, I'm on the other side of the world. Where are my family? You do get that, like, every once in a while. But then I just have my own ways of grounding myself. So I'll meditate, I'll bring myself back to myself. I'll remember that I'm on this journey alone in some way. Like, I came here alone, I'm actually going to go alone. We all are. And I just remind myself of how much I've been through in life and that actually I can do anything. And that's like my superwoman analogy, that I'm like, actually, I've been through so much more than this. Like, I'm fine. Like, I'm actually fine. So yeah, there's a bit of that. But yeah, you do get lonely naturally. Like, you do sometimes get lonely. It's totally normal when you're in a new place and you miss your family and stuff. But I just honestly affirm to myself that I've been through a lot more than just being alone. And sometimes I've been through a lot because of other people. So actually being alone is not the worst thing in the world, because at least you're away from all the crazies. Adapting to work. Yeah, that has been a big one. I feel like what I did when I came here is I treated it as a bit of a holiday. So I was like, okay, if I work, I work, and if I don't work, I don't work. And I just didn't put a lot of pressure on myself. I didn't really roll into the market and try and do research of when is the on season for modeling, when is the off season. I just thought, I've got my own energy and my own light, and I'll attract whatever will come to me. And I actually did a few big jobs when I first got here, and cool campaigns just through the people that I knew, because obviously my energy was aligned to them and it was meant to be. So I think I just don't put that much pressure on myself in terms of getting work, because I always know that I am an intelligent person and I'll always find a way to work and, you know, shine my light. Adapting to the work here, it is different. The shoots here are a minimum of 12 hours, or like it's a 12-hour shoot here. Whereas in the UK, as a model, you shoot for 8 hours, and that's a norm. That's a full day work for us. So the hours are very different here. The way people do things, I would say they're a lot more intense here. They definitely try and get their money's worth. And there will constantly be someone touching you when you're on set, whether someone's putting your earring in or dabbing your face. And it's like they just do things for the sake of doing things. Just to kind of look like they're busy as well, because I think there's a lot of politics involved where they understand that everybody's quite replaceable because there's so many more people here. So I think they try and look like they're busy all the time. I've noticed that a lot in India, where actually there's no need for them to be faffing so much, but they'll just do it just to show the client that, like, I was worth your money. In terms of like photographers will just spend like a crazy amount of time setting up and like just doing things, because they know that if they just come in, shoot, and the shoot's wrapped in under the time, then it just looks like the client didn't get their values worth from the photographer. They feel the need to kind of like show that I'm working really hard. You also find that for makeup artists, makeup artist assistants, like they just feel like they constantly have to be filling the void just to show that they're a really hard worker. So they're almost like really overly proving themselves here. Whereas in the UK, people are a lot more confident in their abilities as a makeup artist or a photographer or a hairstylist. So they don't feel the need to make a whole song and a dance about it. If we wrap a shoot that's supposed to be 8 hours in 5 hours, then we wrapped in 5 hours, and they own the fact that the shoot was good. So there's a lot less pressure on the models, because we're being faffed with a lot less and like touched a lot less and pulled left, right and center a lot less. I've noticed that they'll just do a random shoe change or a random look change or a random, just for the sake of doing it, and there's like no need, and then it will all go back to the original. Like, that's one huge thing that I've noticed here. And I think the models and the talent here are a lot more vocal, and they're like, no, you're burning my hair. No, I'm not trying that earring on again. I'm not doing this. And initially I was like, are they all divas? Like, what's wrong with them? And now the more I'm actually spending time here, the more I'm realizing that actually I have to be like that too, because a lot of things here are just unnecessary. And in the UK, I think we're a lot more about efficiency. There's a huge thing on efficiency where we want things done well, but more than anything, we want things done efficiently well. And everybody just wants to do their job and go home. Whereas here, for some reason, they want to be like lingering around on set for like 16 hours. So it is really annoying, but that's one thing I've had to adapt to in terms of the work. Small wins that made me feel settled. I love this one. I remember taking my first Uber. I feel like I put it in one of my first vlogs. I think I put it in the first India vlog that I made on my YouTube channel, where I said like I'm moving to India. And I took my first Uber, and it was just the best feeling in the world, like getting my first Uber. Going to my first job here, that felt so good. Taking my first domestic flight, because I take flights every week to shoot in a different city. So taking my first one and navigating my way through the airport on a domestic flight instead of an international flight, yeah, that was really, really cool. Ordering my first thing on an online app, that was really cool, because I was like, yay, like I've ordered food. What else was a big win? Just like unpacking my wardrobe and having everything like nice and organized. Like all these things just felt so good when I first got here. I remember the feeling of just feeling like, yes, like I've definitely like feel more grounded and stuff, and I've got this. I remember telling myself a lot in my first few weeks, like, you've got this, you can take a rickshaw, you've got it, you can take a flight, you've got this, you can do your shoot. And like just having those little celebration moments to myself was really cool. Things that were harder than I expected, I think dealing with the people here. I think I've had to deal with a few people that have a big ego, and the politics of the way things are. I think there's a lot of he said, she said that goes on over here. You can be pulled into another person's drama just by giving your opinion. So I kind of understand now why people don't really talk that much, and people look really scared when they come on set. They just do their job and go home. And I'm like, what's wrong? Like, chill, have fun, be open with your communication. But I think there's a lot of like, you know, what's that Drake song where he's like, I have just searched for the line and I can't find it anywhere. But yeah, there's some line about it. In the industry and stuff, I think people are always looking for a bit of gossip, and it's easy to get pulled into stuff. So that is definitely something that I've noticed that probably needs to be worked on here. However, it just kind of means that they're probably a little bit behind in terms of maybe their own journey when it comes to healing and like not kind of reacting and acting from their ego. So that I've noticed a little bit here. Things that were easier than expected, I think probably my living situations have been easier than expected. I didn't really know how long I would be here for or what my plan would be for the whole year, but I've kind of managed to just stay at a friend's. Another person left that I kind of knew and went to America for a month, so I took that person's place. And then I found like a really cool Airbnb where I stayed for a couple of weeks, and then this place became available. So I've moved a bit, but it's all been quite effortless and easy, to be honest. So that was definitely easier than I expected. Advice that you wish someone gave you before moving. I think it's always so interesting when you've done something and then you look back and you think, oh God, I wish I could have just told myself just to like chill and enjoy it, because actually everything worked out just fine. And yeah, it was a journey, but it was nothing that I couldn't handle. I wish I could tell myself that in November, because I was so stressed about kind of upping and moving my whole life to the other side of the world. And yeah, there have been ups, there have been downs. There's been a lot of lessons that have gone on here, but honestly, I'm absolutely fine. Like, I've actually grown and learned so much from all the months that I've been out here. So yeah, I wish I could go back and be like, look, this is what it's going to look like, and everything is genuinely going to be okay, and you're going to be a better person, an even better person after this. So yeah, I would say that that's the advice that I would give anyone that's planning on doing it or moving or whatever. Yeah, it's scary, definitely, it's 100% scary, but at the end of the day, you are going to survive it, and there's nothing that you kind of won't be able to take from it where you know, like, you're not going to self-destruct. You're just going to become a better person, stronger, wiser, and actually probably gain like a whole new skill set and be able to take that forward in life, which is amazing. How the move changed your confidence and independence. It's definitely affected my confidence in a huge way, because I believe, and I think I've mentioned this in a few of my videos, that confidence is built on action. It's not built by reading books or talking or other people's stories or anything like that. It's literally built by taking action. I feel like anxiety is dissolved by taking action. The more we sit at home and just twiddle our thumbs and think about things, the bigger the monster becomes in our head. And actually, if you just go out and take action, go for a walk, go and do something, go shopping, go do something by yourself, anything, you get an adrenaline rush, and you just literally gain confidence. It's hugely impacted my confidence. I feel like I can do anything now, like I'm invincible. If I can move to India by myself as a girl, as a woman, and create somewhat of a life for myself here, then I can literally do anything. Like, imagine me moving to like another kind of country. It's literally going to be a walk in the park, because India is, it's not for the faint-hearted to come here and move and live and create like a nice lifestyle for yourself here. Like, that's a big thing to be able to do. So I'm very proud of myself, and I feel like it's hugely impacted my confidence. And now going forward, I could probably just do anything in life. Like, I literally feel invincible after this. Things that I've learned about myself through the experience: I've learned that I deal with stress and pressure very well. I've learned that I'm an extremely calm person. I would say I've definitely got my head screwed on right, and I'm quick at learning things and quick at adapting and learning new skills. I feel like as a model that travels internationally, you kind of learn that at quite a young age anyway, because we're very self-sufficient and we have to do everything on our own, like go for coffees, go to the cinema, meet new people, have to be out there where you've got no friends, where you've got to make the effort to make new friends. You've got to be sociable and be able to talk and stuff. Like, the job has taught me so much, but the traveling has definitely taught me all these things about myself and just amplified them more in my own mind. Balancing your old identity with your new culture. I feel like this trip has definitely made me feel more rooted in my culture of being Indian, and it's made me connect more through my spiritual journey to my ancestors, and really understand where I'm from and how far my bloodline has come. Being from here, moving over there to the UK, to the West, and making a life, like, I'm extremely proud of my family. I'm extremely proud of all my grandparents that kind of upped and left and moved to another country, because it's a huge thing to be able to do. And I see the way people are living here, and I see where my family would have come from and the leap that we made, and it was huge. It was huge what those guys did in that generation. So I feel like I've definitely brought more of that into my own value and belief system, and I can't wait for the future for me to be married and have kids and be able to tell them all these stories and kind of teach them about this side of my life as well, being back here doing the complete opposite of what my mom did. Like, mom moved from, and my dad, they both moved from this country to the UK, and it's so nice to move back and kind of see where they started and where they ended up and stuff like that. Like, I do feel very connected to my ancestors here, and it's definitely impacted me in a really, really, really great way. It's humbled me, and yeah, it's just a really beautiful experience that I couldn't even put into words. Mental health and staying motivated during the transitions. I just was my own biggest support system. I know that I was literally at points speaking to myself out loud, being like, you've got it, and speaking so kindly to myself, because I'm here doing it alone, doing this leap by myself. So I was very, very kind to myself throughout the whole thing, and I just really, really, really put a huge priority on my mental health. And I was like, you know what, this is a huge thing. I acknowledge the fact that it's a huge thing that I'm doing. I didn't shy away from being like, oh, it's nothing, like, you've got this. This time round, I was like, no, like, this is huge. Like, you've literally moved from one side of the world to the other on your own, and you should be very proud of yourself. And little wins, like getting a cab, ordering food, making a new friend, and things like that, I would really spend time feeling the accomplishment instead of just disregarding it and being like, now I feel sad, or now I miss home. I wouldn't be like that. I would be like, wow, you did such a big thing. You made a new friend. You've ordered something and it's here. And then I've got building routines that have helped me feel at home. I would say my meditation is the biggest thing that I do. I do it every single day. It grounds me. It's one thing that's consistent, and I do it in any country, in any space, in any hotel, in any corner of the world. I'll always do my meditation. So that is one thing that's definitely consistent for me, and it's helped me feel at home. What home means to you now. After traveling so much, home is myself. It's my inner world. I kind of look at this outer vessel as a temple, and my inner world is the inside of a temple. And you know, when you go to a temple, you're so respectful, and you know, you take your shoes off and you bow down, and it's always beautiful and clean. And there's sometimes like a lot of marble in our Hindu temples. We have a lot of marble and just beautiful just beautiful everything, like an incense. I treat the inside of myself like that, and I really take care of my inner world. So I would say home to me, when I'm so not grounded in my physical space because I'm moving so much, is definitely the inside of my inner world now. So traveling just defines even more that I am my own home. Would I move again in the future? Yes, I would move again in the future. I've been thinking about it. I'm like, like where should I move next? And I'm like, the weather's so nice now in Europe. Like I could even just rent somewhere for like a month and a half and live in Spain, or I don't know, like anywhere. Like, yes, I definitely would move again for sure. What do I miss from my home country? The people. I do miss the people. I feel like when you've been raised in a country, you just get it. The banter, the communication, the way that you can just say little bits of like slang or like banter that people don't get here, that obviously people from the UK just get it. And one of the girls I live with, actually, she was born in the UK, and I'll just say things and she just starts laughing, or she'll say things and I'll start laughing, because we have that with other people I don't have, because I have to overextend myself to communicate. So it's so nice just having the communication. The luxury of communication is huge, and you really feel that when you're traveling and English is not the first language. What do you now appreciate more about the new country? Okay, I think I appreciate the spiritual side of India. There's a huge spiritual side here. There's temples and churches, and so many things here kind of give honor to religion and faith. So most definitely there's something in the air here, there's something in the soil. I do believe that I've said in another video that I think that India is the heartbeat of the world in terms of the spiritual sense. I would say it's definitely that. So it's helped me connect a lot more with my spiritual side. Everything for me is it's elevated and like amplified here in India. So I definitely appreciate that about India. And then I would say a message to anyone struggling to adapting after moving abroad. This is the last point I'll make before I end the video, is that pull all your energy into yourself, make yourself extremely strong emotionally and physically as well. Like have a routine with your exercise, your food, get all your basics going so you feel like you have all the basics and the foundation there and built. It's so important, because you can get pulled left, right and center into so many different situations because it's not your country. So if you are grounded and stable in yourself, that's probably the best advice that I can give you. And other than that, just enjoy the ride, because you know, life is supposed to be lived, and we are supposed to have amazing experiences. And if you're fortunate to be able to move to another country and you're fortunate to kind of experience something new, then enjoy it, because life can also get boring sometimes when you just do the same thing all the time. And have you ever had that feeling where you're just like, oh, like it's become so mundane and boring, like you just need something to spark you and like wake you up? You definitely get that from an experience like this. So I would say just enjoy it, because before you know it, you'll be settled and you'll just be happy there, and all the chaos will be behind you, and then you'll kind of wish that you could relive it again in some weird way. So yeah, I would say enjoy it if you are traveling and you've moved to another country. And yeah, I think that is it for the video. I am now going to meet my friend and go shopping. And yeah, I really enjoyed making this. It was so much fun. Thank you to the person that commented suggesting for me to make this video. It was actually really, really fun to make. And it's helped me also reflect on my own journey, and it's put like a whole positive spin on my day as well. So I really appreciate that. And I will see you guys in my next video.